Everyone, let's go to the election this time.
It's a song coming from the north.
Let's vote, let's vote, let's vote.
Let's all participate in the election. Ah,
That's right.
hello viewers, this is Lee-Cherun.
This is Han-Yun, yes.
Today we don't know which topic we'll be covering yet. Yes?
No, there's something urgent. Have you seen our presidential approval ratings a few times?
Me?
Yes, me.
If I do it this time, it's my third time, so why?
Is it the third time, but it's my fourth time?
This is my third time failing in this situation.
Actually, it's official.
If you think about it, I didn't make it in 2 tries, no!
Yeah, in the middle, 4 times.
So today I prepared it like that, Seonggyo.
Seonjo, that's why I prepared this.
I wanted to discuss the content and background story, not just say we prepared it.
That's right, so...
What I want to talk about today is this. Let's put aside the political achievements and the pros and cons for a moment. In North Korea, they do things this way, but here in our country we say, this is democracy, and that's why we're trying to do it this way. Are we talking about elections just to highlight political achievements? Don't misunderstand me, that's not what I mean at all.
Please don't leave, just stay where you are, yes.
Please look.
No,
Seong-in from the north.
When you become an adult, why?
At 18 years old in Hanguk,
So I came out, and next, when I was about to vote, in Bukhan, voting is very rare. I couldn't vote directly.
but at the polling station.
I went there, voted, and cheered like this. Since it's an event, all the young men and women participated like this.
And then we danced.
We went there and danced like that, and it was really festive. So Seola was really festive, really nice, and there was so much to eat. We wore traditional clothes and learned about this kind of culture. That's what I mean. But I never actually went to vote myself. Other than that, we did everything together. But in our country, elections aren't really like that.
When moving for an election in North Korea, it's crucial to keep it a secret and not discuss it.
That's what they do. In North Korea,
The election is for Supreme People's Assembly delegates.
it's only the election, not the presidential election.
It's not the presidential election.
So,
I'm telling the truth.
by the way, do Legion host kids play soccer well? In North Korea,
There's no presidential election, and the only election we have is for the National Assembly members here in South Korea.
only the National Assembly election exists.
And we have...
There's no presidential election, only the general election. In our country,
In North Korea, according to the law, there are both parties in parliament, but in reality, there's only the parliament because they can't form multiple parties on their own.
that's right, North Korea.
If you look at the law, it says you have the freedom to participate in politics.
That.
Why can't I do that? Tell me.
The freedom before.
Political participation?
There is also freedom of religion, so...
It's there, but it can't be used. So, in the end, it's hard to say that there is political participation.
It's about freedom?
Even that in the meantime.
It's called freedom, but it's actually being forced.
So, it's just written in the way that was done in the past, but now we can't choose that anymore. We can't do that anymore.
Right. So, in the previous world, in this world, the results of those elections,
The results?
because it's 99.8%. There's no 99.8%, you know.
What about the other 2%? Did something go wrong, or are we...
When you vote, please move the ballot. Please pick me.
Even when I dance and sing.
Do?
It's like that. Byungan.
The red one brings out the color, and the blue one is just like that.
No, it's just...
In North Korea, they only raise the flag for the flag-raising ceremony before the game.
They were hard. It's the police station.
Seon Geojang spends most of his days handling police station work.
Why should I go to the station if I don't have to?
There's a reason why I still go on duty.
Why?
When I'm at the guard post, why do I have to stand on duty?
Is that so?
For the security of the polling station, and to ensure the election is conducted properly, we are stationed there and carry out our duties. There were actually such incidents, you say? No, that's not true.
Following the election, people from different locations discuss and debate the results with one another in this manner.
That's what they do, too.
No, they just pick one person and then create a party for them, and that's what they call a party, just a party.
That's what I'm talking about. In North Korea, people like Won and Won would closely monitor me during voting in what was essentially a competition.
So I couldn't even go to vote.
They observe you while voting by standing right next to you. I wanted to oppose that, but if you do, they glare at you from behind.
I know, but still.
North Korea's voting system is different from ours, which is democratic. That's what I'm trying to say. I also came to South Korea in September 2016 and left on February 22nd, 2017. When I came, it was autumn. Is it called Chuseok when the leaves fall? Candlelight.
CV.
Candlelight revolution, candlelight protest. People were saying at the time that former President Park Geun-hye should step down and President Moon Jae-in.
That's when he came into office.
I also voted at that time and I was nervous.
I didn't know how to vote, so I just went in and did it for the first time.
I wore formal clothes, really?
Yeah, that's right, at first.
I wore a suit somehow.
I voted for President Gamchun.
But next to me,
I can dress comfortably without having to dress up or look formal.
in North Korea, only the representatives of the highest ranking people can vote.
Hyoji, President.
It was my first time voting in an election. Eomchong.
I was nervous and excited.
It wasn't scary, but there was a sense of seriousness.
That's right.
President.
I am the one who...
When I have to make a choice about what I have to do, because of this sense of responsibility,
I was very worried for a few days, even during meals.
and then I wondered how I should face the next day.
Even those thoughts.
That's all. When I first debuted, it was in Gyeonggi Province at Namyang Middle School in Namyang-eop.
Are you curious because...
But at first, I just followed my parents to the polling station and stood in line, and then I voted. Is that right?
Kudu.
Shingo.
From Kudu to Shingo, all the way to Kudu?
But then, Dong...
But I couldn't do it well.
I knew it. Why?
You make a choice, you vote, but does the voting place feel right? If you ask why, it's just too much for me.
Because it's so natural.
If I say this, it might not work, but I just felt that way.
I was surprised. None.
I only go in above and come out, but I don't go in below.
Coming out.
There are people too, and everyone.
Heads down, wearing hats and scarves, they entered the alley, listening to the music from one side.
The child appeared to be misbehaving. Instead of saying run away, a more gentle word was used at the time.
That's right, the polling station.
Here it is voting.
If you do it here, it works.
You just have to do it. That's when I realized.
Me...
He came in like this, all dressed up, wearing a clean suit and a tie.
Two...
Because it's you, Al Park.
At the Dongsa office or apartment management office, it was like that too when I was living there and attending the residents' meeting. People just come, sometimes to register for moving in, sometimes to report a leak, sometimes to submit a resignation, sometimes to register a move out, sometimes to register a child's household, and so on. That's how it goes. At that time,
My house is Jinjin.
I was shocked. At the election site,
Even if you do that, can you still come?
I am Zhongjiang.
I'm waiting for the car, but it's really cold.
I'm talking about my president.
I'm voting.
But in that situation, with a heavy heart, I think to myself that maybe that's the right thing to do, to vote with such a heavy heart.
I'm voting.
I don't really expect much, but I still do it. But now, I think the mindset is more important than the result. But still,
But when I say I'm putting on a suit, what I really mean is...
no.
It's not about that. What I mean is, as the head of the family, as a Korean citizen, I want to set an example and be a leader so that we can all live well in Korea. Choosing the person who will be the leader...
That's the influence of the people themselves, but still.
It's something you have to be careful and considerate about.
That's right,
At that time, I did think about it carefully, but I still can't believe that I'm the one choosing the president. No.
Honestly, I was so grateful that now I can vote as I wish. I can cast my ballot as I want. But since it's a secret ballot, that's how it was. But, you know, we didn't get to vote for the president. That's how it was. We can freely...
They hold elections, claiming 100% turnout, but do not have presidential elections.
That's right.
To be exact, if I put it simply, they only hold elections for the National Assembly members. Or to put it another way, they only hold elections for the Supreme People's Assembly delegates in North Korea. Kim Jong-un's presidential election does not take place.
That's right, that's right. They don't hold presidential elections, so...
That's a scene I wasn't able to see.
That's right, this is accurate. President.
The position where we have to talk about and handle the election like this is the...
It's not like that, that's what I'm thinking, so that's why. I'm not someone who wants to be a member of the National Assembly, but the party is pushing this person forward. If you tell me to vote, I just say yes.
I vote and then...
It was just an ordinary day. But no, actually, I was a bit nervous because I was voting for the first time.
I did, yes, that's right.
I voted, and then I went to a club-like gathering of North Korean women in the neighborhood.
There was a ballroom too.
It's not about dancing or anything like that.
That's right, if that's the case.
Our country compared to other countries is...
청춘 남년, you know, this...
Because we are included in such a selection, we get to meet each other like this, date and all that.
There is a...
There could be, right? Well, we could also meet someone here. Anyway, there are many people here. Men, women, strong men, women, and even young handsome guys. Let's see if there's a match. That's why.
From the right...
Dancing isn't really my thing. No, but now all the girls are on this side of the basketball court, so only girls are here, and the boys are over there.
The disciplined men.
So there was no interaction between them, and they just stayed separate like that.
The person I like...
He was standing in front of me. I was.
Even when I was a college student, I made a confession.
Even when I was in the reserve forces.
Since I participated in the election, when I was a college student, it was among the college students.
Seojaya back then.
Seogeon was part of the same group, the student council.
Back then, Seoseo.
Hul.
Like this, Dongmu Yosai.
Let's make a promise to each other like this.
Or go forward.
Go forward, go backwards, side to side.
If you look around,
Stay.
promise me, okay? But really, promise me.
No, I just want to sing a song.
But it's too...
I lost my energy.
Why, that...
Because I had to practice so much before the performance.
That's right.
Just go and relax. It's not like our place. It's not like that. It's us.
It's not like they're dancing happily like that.
But you have to go there in person and keep practicing together before the event. If you do it in front of a few people, or next to a few people, you can't really start this easily.
That's how noisy it is. That day, the people I met for the first time, the women I met... If you do this with men, it's a bit awkward, but you can also get close and even fall in love. That was what I worried about, but...
It's not like that. We just practiced and started naturally.
I haven't done that yet.
Young...
It's sparkling today.
Rather than being a political appointment, it's more of a selection by the South, and for the North, the selection by the President is...
There is a member of the National Assembly.
To put it simply, there are elections for the National Assembly and the Supreme People's Assembly, but neither Kim Jong-un nor Kim Jong-il has ever run as a candidate, or been elected in the usual way.
That's right.
That's right, and moving on. Now, coming up next is June 3rd, the presidential election.
It's the day. We need to.
So, voting is something that every citizen should participate in.
Yes, that's right.
Because people who participate and people who support can be different. Because when people think differently, they try to persuade. And when they accept what others say, they compromise. That is a choice. Isn't that what a free and democratic country is all about?
That's right, democracy.
Because in a country, there can't be anything that's unconditional. But you have to participate in elections.
You're right. That's how it ought to be.
Whether it works out or not, the way for a citizen to fulfill their participation is for someone who has a sense of responsibility to make our Republic of Korea stronger. That's what I mean.
More than anything, everyone should go to the polls.
This is something that comes out of anger.
Let's vote, everyone.
Let's all participate in the election.
That's right, everyone. Let's all participate in the election.
Now, today, let's wrap it up here.
That's right, in June.
Let's all participate in the election on the 3rd.